Welcome everybody to the House of Men's Mental Health. We got three of the four horsemen here right now: Mr. Mark Mest, the legendary Mark Mest, and Ox Hog. Um, these two guys right here, some beasts in the wrestling world. If you've never looked them up, definitely check them out. They have some killer matches out there. This is the House of Men's Mental Health. So I always like to start this off with, if you need help out there, 988. It's a good line to call or text if you ever need help. If you're ever feeling down in the dumps or whatever's going on, it's there. Use it. Let's get right into it, guys. How's everything been?
Hanging in there, doing pretty good. So it's been warm though, a little warm.
Well, all right. So recently, Ox, you just retired, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, July 31st. I'm no longer in prison.
How's it feel?
It's not. I've been working. Honestly, I started getting this gym stuff together before I retired. So I've been starting to get, like I'm learning, like I know nothing about running a business. So I'm learning as I go, getting an LLC and, tax papers you have to file and, meeting with landlords and meeting with, people for different kind of stuff. It's, between that and I try and, have stuff done for when my wife gets done work now, because she's got to go to work and I don't. So when she comes home, she's happy, somewhat happy anyway. And then, normally though, something is always done incorrectly. So I'm like on week 3 now. So it's going to take about another day or two of being corrected on something till the maid quits. You know what I mean? I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I've been actually working more now than I did when I was working. It's at my pace. It's at my pace, and it's when I want to do it. So it's kind of nice.
That's a good thing about being your own boss, your own business. Because when we first started the school, it was the same way. We were like learning curve, and you're putting more time in, but at the same time, it's like it's your baby. So
yeah.
So if you work a little extra hours here or there, you can. Yeah. You're not like I have to be at work at this time, or I'm going to get written up. It's like
and the only person you got breathing down your neck right now is the missus.
Yeah, and I don't I go and I don't take over till October 1st, but the current owner, she's like family. She's she's great with me and my wife and a bunch of guys that live there, and she pretty much letting us do what we want, like to get things started right now. So we have a jump start on everything, and so I've been trying to spend an hour, at least an hour or 2, 3 a day besides the time that I'm there working out to try and, figure out some things. And, oh, look who's here.
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, man?
Living a dream.
Yeah.
Miss you guys.
Miss you
guys too.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Rob was out sweating in the hot weather yesterday in Jersey.
Man,
It's
what a cluster! What a cluster!
Oh, clusters! Gotta love those.
Yeah. Oh man. So, Jared, you were saying with your startup business here, it's the Cage, right?
Yeah.
Where are you guys located? Just in case anybody in Pennsylvania wants to jump on board with that.
100 West Penn Street in Schuylkill Haven.
Okay. Right on.
So
right on.
We'll have we're gonna do get the whole Facebook and all thing going, but I'm gonna wait till we come closer to our closing and when it's more so ours to redo any of that stuff. And I'm worried about kind of the financial part and getting some more guys in there, members in, and getting it cleaned up and everything, the way we want it. So, but
right on, man. Right on. That's fantastic, man. Yes, it is, man. It's fantastic that you're doing what it's fantastic that you're doing what you love now that you're out of the system there. You're enjoying life and you can say, fuck it, man. This is what I love to do. And this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily I've been, I'm sorry. I got these text messages coming in from a guy on it. Luckily luckily, I started there young. It was lucky and not, because I don't think if I was starting now, I think if I had less than 10 years in now, I don't think I'd stay there the way things are. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to have, I'm glad to be done at an early age, and I'm glad to have, been able and smart enough and have somebody help me along the way to save enough money to be able to try and do something that I want to do after, all this is done. I mean, I know people think you make a lot of money wrestling, but I think my communion money I still have, and not a dime of my wrestling money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, Dirtbag Dan says hello to everybody.
What's up, Dan?
What's going?
Hey, what's
Dan,
up, buddy?
long time.
Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well.
So, all right, since we just promoted Ox's Biz, Mark, give the promo for the university.
Well, I don't know if I said it on here, but I've done it on Facebook. Max Havoc, Jason has been kind of taking over, and we kind of like working relationship with workers, university and everything, and he's busting his ass. He's doing a good job. I'm still helping promote, trying to get some kids in there as well. Straightened everything up. It looks really good in there, so like any business, it's anything. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. You're going to have people that are come, they're going to try out. They may stay, they may not stay, or they do start, then they get into financial problems and they leave. So it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's it's wrestling, so it's something that I loved, and it's one of them deals where you can put up with it because it's something you want to do. You want to help people, and now, especially now for me, just trying to give back where I can, and we all get old, and Father Time says enough is enough. So at least I want to still contribute where I can, when I can, until I can't do it no more. But we're doing good. We're getting a couple new guys. I got a couple prospects that are possibly in the wings here, but it's like anything. One day at a time, and we can only hope that if they come in, that they stick.
All right, Rob, got to give me your promo now.
Mine's the same as Mark's, man. Up and down. I was saying up and down in my brain as Mark was saying it, man. You have kids that want to come in, and then they feel what it's really like, and it's not how it feels on their video game.
Signs and rainbows.
Oh no, there's a big spring under the ring. I know there's a big spring there.
It's a trampoline, isn't it?
But what they don't know about that spring is that spring hurts a lot worse when it's in than when it's out.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So while we were sitting backstage, me and Mark getting this started up, I had mentioned something to him because he was recently at the memorial for someone that passed away. What do you guys think about this? Instead of being a memorial, why not once a year do a family reunion show?
That's a good idea.
Like long-term, plan it out. It gives everybody time to get their traveling schedules or whatever's going on, their schedule straight, and just do one family reunion show once a year to get all the guys together instead of looking back and going, fuck, man. Well, here we are now. We should have done this earlier.
I kind of like the idea if we can get, guys that aren't wrestling no more, I said pending where it's at. I said a lot of it's going to be with travel, but you said a year, you say, and like a family reunion, every year we set it up someplace, somewhere, put on a show, put on 6-7 matches for the young kids that want to just get some experience.
Yeah.
Don't charge a lot, but all us older guys that don't see everybody all the time, be kind of a cool thing. Like, hey, we can catch up, sit there and shoot the breeze all day, and show's over. We can all go home, and at least we see each other, and once a year. Maybe we're lucky to get more than once a year, but at least something would be, it'd be kind of cool to do.
I think that's a great idea. I'd love to shit all over their matches too.
What a dick.
At least he was honest.
Yeah, you're right. Nothing
A lot
wrong
of
with
them
that.
shaking their heads, going, "What the hell was that? Like, what did you just see that? Like, what was that? Like, I don't know." You know.
Oh man. But
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
I
that.
think I think that would be great though. You know, getting a lot of the guys together that you guys used to work with. You know, maybe even across PA and stuff like that. Just something
Yeah.
for the older generation of wrestlers
It would
just to get together.
it would really be cool to see Dennis Diamond. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to be there for the Ripley thing, but he wasn't there. So
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's probably
Yeah.
out on that motorcycle, man.
could be.
You know what, though? It'd kind of be like a cauliflower alley thing, though, but it'd be around here. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah,
I think
instead of
that'd be.
going to Vegas, where it costs you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to go to Vegas because that's where my Raiders are, but you know, that's an expensive flight out and back and a stay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that would be something great, you know, for Pennsylvania. You know, is there a Pennsylvania Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No,
there's
man.
some
I
events
don't know
that
about it.
have their own. I mean, I don't honestly, no, I'm not trying to be ignorant. Well, yeah, I guess I am a little bit, but there's not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of guys from PA that would make the Hall of Fame. No, but yeah, I mean, let's look at the schools that are reputable. You got the Samoans, you got Marks, you got Robs, and you got one or two other ones, maybe. And
Yeah.
there's 70 schools in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? I don't even know if
Yeah.
there's schools.
That's very true.
You know? Like all the
And
other schools are gone.
Danny
Like the
Grease
schools
is
are
a
gone.
member.
You know, a lot of the
Yeah.
schools are gone. There's not even like, you know, and some of the schools are ran by guys, again, half trained to half trained to half trained.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Danny Grease.
They trained
he
for
said
2
it'll
years.
never work.
Huh?
What's that?
Dan
What'd you say,
agreed
Bob?
it'll never work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think that there's still like as much as people say that we're family and we're brothers, and there's too many egos, and
Oh yeah.
somebody will bitch and say somebody's pocketing and making a profit off of everybody, and they get pissed. You know. So I mean, I have to agree with Dan. The idea sounds absolutely amazing, but I just think that there's too many fucking egos, and you know, let's be honest. I mean, there would be a handful of us that would be great to see each other and be like,
Yeah.
you know, yo, and then as soon as we turn our backs, there'll be some that'd be like, this motherfucker here. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I mean, maybe
You know.
we just watch who we invite. You almost have
Yeah.
like a committee of who you invite. You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah. We would have to have a committee on who we invite for sure.
You know, like
Invite only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
and then somebody be upset because they didn't get invited.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, there's probably a reason you weren't invited, asshole. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Ox.
You know
Don't
what I
get
mean?
me. Don't get me an ox on a tirade.
You know, one
Oh,
time,
man.
Mark's the gentle giant out of the three of us. So.
yeah, you know.
I am.
At one time, I had a guy tell me one time, he goes, I'm not going to say who it is because both you know him. He said, you know, I really thought for them years that I wrestled that you didn't like me. I said, I don't know why you think that. He goes, because you broke my balls all the time. I said, I break everybody's balls.
Yeah.
Everybody's balls. He goes,
That's love.
Yeah.
oh, well, you know, I kind of took offense to it. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, dude, get the fuck away from me right now because I used to like you, now I don't. Just go. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Word.
Are you kidding me?
Oh man.
Oh,
You know?
That's funny.
I said, I just wrestled Rob for the 85th time. I said, both of us have lumps all over us. I said, and if there's somebody you think didn't like me, it'd probably be him, not you. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Same.
These sons of bitches, motherfuckers.
Same.
oh
Yeah.
man. So why do you? So here's a question for you. Why are egos so big, and why do you guys say that wrestling is a scumbag industry sometimes.
Well, it's. I'll take this one first, Mark, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So number one, it's not the wrestling industry. It's the world we live in. We're just in the wrestling industry, and that's where we see the fucking scumbags. There are scumbags everywhere in this world, but we just see it in the wrestling business. The wrestling business itself is not the scumbag issue. It's some of the people in this world that are just in our world. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just.
Up here,
So,
just getting the water.
so
You know,
with this industry, because Dan brought this up, he said, I thought this was about men's mental health.
it is
So
for sure.
if this industry, you see it that hard, is
And it affects you.
I guess yes.
Yeah.
How does that affect you in the long run?
Well, think of it this way. You know, when I was growing up in the business, learning, I was told to trust nobody because there was always somebody out there trying to take your spot. You know,
Mhm.
so mentally you have to be prepared for anything that's going to come at you.
Absolutely.
If you're not, it can really mess you up. And that's why it's not for everybody. You know, the longer you're in it, the worse it becomes because now you're a young kid in the business, you're a greenhorn, you're slowly building your way up to hopefully that you get respected for. But it doesn't come with the bumps, the bruises, the hits in the head, the body shots, all the falling, the bumping. It's a toll. It's how many times you get up and like go, you do shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got to go to work, on Monday, and it drains you, not just physically, but mentally, because you got to be focused on what's coming up next. You just can't wrestle Saturday and Sunday and take a week off going, well, I got a whole week to recover,
Yeah.
And as you get older in life, a lot of, like anything, I tell all my nephews now, they're growing up, I said, in 10 years, you're going to wish you were, kids in high school again or kids in school because you don't have any responsibilities. As you become an adult, now you got responsibilities. You leave, you become 18, you either go to college, you find a job, and you get away from mom and dad. Well, now you got bills. You got cars, you got car insurance, you got car payments or rent, food, cell phone, all this stuff. Now, mentally, you got to figure out just to be able to live besides wrestling. So and you want to wrestle Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're traveling from one town to another town to another town. Got to make sure your ass is back for work for Monday or whenever you go in, so you can continue what you want to do. Well, after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of doing that stuff, mentally it breaks you down because the people you see, the ups and downs on the road, the problems that you have, it just starts taking a toll. And mentally, and then, well, you said, when a lot of guys just break down and go, I can't handle it, or they go crazy, or they just go, ballistic. Why? Because the pressure is so strong. It's not for everybody. And we always said that wrestling is not for everybody, but mentally, not just physically, but mentally, it takes a toll on you to the point where, now I'm in my 50s, and my brain is. I'm mentally seem okay, but there are times where it gets me down, and even like I feel like I'm a strong person. Because I always say if somebody needs me and I'm willing to, reach out. But there's times I'm not talking to anybody. I'm sitting there going, man, I don't know what to do.
Me
down to
and
the point
to add. Go ahead, Mark.
It just beats me down to the point where it's like, I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I come out of it, but I don't let anybody know that because I don't want to seem weak. That's that mental, I have to be tough. I don't want anybody see me down and crying or whatever, but I do it a lot of times behind closed doors. But because I want to be there for everybody else, so it takes a toll.
Real fast. Danny said he's out of this conversation and have a great day. This is about mental health. We try to incorporate wrestling in with it.
But see, that's the thing. People apparently Dan don't want to be on the podcast because he's telling us to have a great day. Like, if number one, if you really wanted to be a part of the podcast, Dan, you'd stay on and you'd listen, because what we're trying to say is, when you wrestle, from whether you wrestle from when you first start taking bumps, you're hurting your fucking brain. Your
Yeah.
brain is smacking against your skull. Even the greatest technician who's never did a hardcore match in his fucking life, he's smacking his brain against his skull. She's smashing her brain against her fucking skull. So if you're going to be a dick, don't fucking be on the podcast. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick to you, Dan. We love you, man, but we are wrestlers who talk about mental health through what caused most of our mental health probably is the dumb shit that we've done in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know,
Chair
and
all that stuff.
And Dan has me, Dan, Ox, Mark, not so much. We've done a lot of dumb fucking shit. Like
I've done my own dumb shit in my own way.
And
Maybe not wrong.
I mean, Big Mark has done his fair share too, but on the dumbass scale, me and Dan are a lot higher than Mark and Ox on the dumbass scale of dumb shit we did to our brains. So don't get mad and have a great fucking day, Dan. Like, be on the podcast, listen to what we're saying. You know, like, things are a little deeper than what you're just thinking. Like, we want to help you, bro. Like, but you got to want to help yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the Nile's not a river, homie.
All right, so Dan, I know right now, like you feel we're bashing you, but we're not. He said,
I'm not
"Fuck
bashing
you."
Dan at all.
He said, "Fuck you." 23 years doing this. Want to bash me? Don't dare disrespect me. I don't think it's anybody disrespecting. I think what
I
it
would
is,
never
man.
disrespect Dan. If I had anything to say about disrespect, I'd come to you, Dan. I've never had anything bad to say about you.
Yeah.
You know, I met you through Chris Banks, and that alone, if you're friends with Chris Banks, you're good with me.
Chris Banks is the man.
Nobody would ever disrespect you, dude. Well, I'm sure you got people that disrespect you, but we didn't invite you on here to disrespect you.
No.
Nah, man.
You know, so don't get all angry at us. You know, I'm not being a dick to you. I'm just being forward. If you can't handle forward, then that's on you, bro. Like, I'm not being a dick to you. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
Let's be real.
No, but I think direct, like, there's no reason to beat around the bush. And direct is the best way to where we're going. Listen, not only the bumps you take, but what you go through in your personal life because you chose to be a fucking wrestler for $50 a night if you're lucky. 3-4 times. I mean, when I started wrestling, their money was different back then. You guys know, you were wrestling before me. You made more money back then than you do now or the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but you got to work because you, just like a drug addict, you got to feed your habit. You need
it puts stress on your brain, man. Like,
you got to feed. You want the gear. You need to live. You need to eat. You need to have a family. You have all this stuff.
Yes.
Listen, from the time I started wrestling,
I can't get hurt. I can't get hurt wrestling, so I can go to my real job and make real money.
That's right.
So everything is part of the mental.
And you don't even, you know as well as I do, I never thought one time on a Friday or Saturday, I can't get hurt because I got to go to work Monday. It was after I did it, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't get hurt so I could go to work Monday.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, like, from the time I started wrestling, I went through 2 engagements, a marriage. I'm on my second marriage, which I mean, she puts up with me. I don't know. But, like, you have, like, living a life, like, you're at work all week. Then you're training for wrestling 1 or 2 days a week. Then you're at the gym however many days a week. And then on a weekend, guess what? Oh, there's a party. Well, I'm sorry, I got a show.
Yeah,
right?
and if you have babies, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make sure you got time for your kids.
Right.
You know.
And all that, and then I don't understand why, because you're making $25. Like, that's ridiculous. Well, it might be ridiculous to you, but it's not ridiculous to us.
Yeah.
And you got to be mentally strong enough to take the negativity out of what people are telling you so you can enjoy that 15 minutes 1 or 2 days a weekend with what you work so hard for. Because if you can't, then you're going to break. I'm telling you right now, I've seen so many guys break because of it. I want to wrestle in front of my home crowd. They'll wrestle in front of their home crowd one time, and guess what? You'll never see them again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you wasted all that time. Every time you take a bump, like Rob said, your brain shakes in your head. It's like being a lineman.
Yeah.
It's like being a
It's no
lineman.
different.
Your bell is rung every single time.
Yeah. So, Danny, I'm going to say it from outside of a wrestling perspective, man. How can I put this? I went through my own life struggles. I didn't take the bumps like these guys have in the ring to beat their head down, stuff like that. I've done my own abuse throughout life. I've even
Me
tried to
too.
kill myself. I've even tried to kill myself numerous times.
Me too. Me
I
too.
almost OD'd a few times, man. And no matter what life threw at me, no matter what fucking life threw at me, I could have been beat down into the worst state of mind, but I'm still fucking here today, brother. You know?
Yeah.
No matter what life is throwing at you, you know, and all these things that we've done in our lives, from drugs to beating ourselves down, it all changes our brain chemistry in one way or another, where a lot of times we're not thinking straight. And it's causing us to do other things, man. I feel your pain, man, on what you go through.
Absolutely.
I may not know you personally, but I feel that to my fucking core, brother. And I use the term brother because you were going through mental struggles like everybody else in this world. And anybody that is going through that, I see him as a brother and a sister because we are in the same family of the shit
Fucking
that we
right.
are seeing.
Yeah.
To be
Fucking
real
right.
with you, man. To be real with you.
And to be real with you, like I know some of the struggles. I've seen some of the struggles that Dan goes through because I watch his lives, and I feel for Dan, you know. And whether he thought I was disrespecting him, I wasn't disrespecting him, but I get a little excited when people just think that we're talking wrestling because it's not just wrestling.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes the bullshit is hereditary. You know what I'm saying? I feel like mental illness is hereditary. Like
It is.
fuck, dude. I went through struggles with my mom being fucked up in the brain, dude. My brother being fucked up in the brain, you know. And then me, I know I was fucked up from that. Plus the wrestling on top of it and all the stress and the fucking drugs I did when I was younger. That didn't help, you know.
Yeah.
And all the drinking doesn't help you. Drinking's a fucking depressing.
It fucking numbs that pain. We like, I watch so many people hit the alcohol and they say, you know what, it makes me feel better. It only makes you feel better because it drowns those sorrows for a moment. What they don't realize is the next day. Yeah, the next day is when the really hits you, because then you look back and you go, fuck, what did I do? Look how I'm feeling right now. It's a reckless warpath cycle that you do on yourself and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Because you think those moments are comforting, even though it's not. All it does is just, it's a Band-Aid. It's a fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all the older workers years ago that was always drinking, doing drugs, whatnot, all and everything. And, you know, a lot of them aren't here anymore because they had to take all that stuff, you know, and it's, you know.
Listen, let me just, I just want to say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mark, but
no,
I got cut out there for a second because of a storm going through right now. But
this is how much I give a fuck about people. This is how much I care about my other brothers and the struggles they have. This is what I carry in my car. This is what is at every fucking wrestling show. See what that is? You know what this is? You know what this is? This is Narcan. Yes. It's in my fucking truck at all times. At all times. Because that's how much I care about my brothers. And my sisters. You know? Because I know the struggles that we all go through. We all have our own fucking demons. We all have fucking some kind of monkey on our back. You know?
Yeah.
So
okay.
I would never disrespect nobody.
And sometimes it's heavier than others. And the other thing too, like, we don't realize too, is like something that might be insignificant to us may fuck somebody else up.
Yeah.
If that may,
it does.
You know, So, and awareness with all this is a big key, Dan. You know, so to be real with you, brother, like I said, there is no disrespect in your direction in any way.
Never,
Yeah,
never.
you know, I know the rest, wrestling guys here, they're going to tell you from the rest perspective. I can tell you from my perspective in life, you know, and that's a little bit different from them. You know, and anytime if you want to reach out to me, please feel free, man.
Yeah,
I will sit and bullshit with you for as long as it takes, man, to get through what you're going through. Straight
yeah.
up.
Me too. And I know his
Yeah.
struggles. You know, I know Dan's struggles. We have a couple of mutual friends. You know, and it's like, you know, it's just one of those things that if you say something, if he's in a bad mood, or you know what I mean, he might be like, "Why the fuck do you? Why? What business is it of yours?" You know what I'm saying? Like you can never
Mhm.
tell with anybody. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whether it's Mark, whether it's you, whether it's Ox, me. You know what I'm saying? We all
Mhm.
have our own things, and you know whether we're fucked up or we're you know, like if you were a person, an alcoholic, you drink all the time, you know, and when you try to talk to them, they fucking get mad at you, or it's none of your business. You know what I mean? Like, or if you do drugs, like I have a friend of mine who just fucking Saturday, you know, he started coming to the fort, and Saturday was 2 years that he's been clean from meth.
Good.
My boy Dexter Bates, and I'm proud to say his name, man. You know, and it's like he struggles every day, but you know, we talk on a regular basis, and if we don't talk more than 3 days, it's yo, what the fuck's up? Same
Yeah.
with my boy Damien Destruction. You know, if I
Mhm.
don't talk to him in 2 days, it's I'm calling him. Yo, you didn't pull an Eddie on me, did you? You didn't pull an Eddie on me. You're not in a hotel room somewhere. You know what I mean? That's our
Yeah.
ongoing joke. But
Yeah.
you know, these are two of my friends who have real struggles. You know, and but you know, I talk to them all the time. You know, it's we're here to help, man. We're not here to disrespect you.
We're here, and that's the thing is you gotta help. That's the thing. You gotta talk.
Yes.
Bottling it up inside is just 10 times worse.
But
You know?
100%.
but since I met Dan, me and Dan has had an explosive, like he he's explosive, and you know I'm a little explosive too. So
God,
you know,
Two
we
bullheaded personalities, we'll say.
oh absolutely, me and Dan could go like this. We could hug each other and love each other and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, how are you?" And then be like, "Rah, rah," and then we'll still talk again.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. That's what makes us all families, man. You know, and we should be more of a family towards people, man. It's just
Yeah,
it's the way
that's
it's
the problem
supposed to
with the world
work.
today. That's the problem
Yeah.
with everybody today. Everybody wants to just find a reason to hate somebody, not
Yeah,
not a
no
reason to
reason,
care about.
no
You
reason, man.
And honestly, that's why we're here. Because to be real, I'm not even going to say we care. It's because we give a shit.
And to be honest with
Straightforward,
you,
we give a shit.
and to be honest with you, wrestling saved my life, man. Like I could have been doing a whole different world, you know. Wrestling and my daughter saved my life, man. Like
Mhm.
there is no denying that, you know. If these two things wouldn't have came about, I wouldn't be the man that I am, you know. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but you know, I like to think I help a lot of people in this world, and I feel like that's why I was put on this earth is to help people. And you know, I get a little uptight when people get excited about us and we just talk wrestling, because it's not about all wrestling. We care
Bob,
so much about fucking people.
so, real fast, what is your shoot job?
I am
This is the other side of you.
yeah. I am a special needs van driver. I drive special needs to school and to home. Yes, that's what I do.
You know, so to show how much he cares. I mean, that's what he does for a living
Yeah,
outside of the biz.
yeah. I,
You know.
actually, I love my job so much that when our job got bought out by another company, they took my kid that I had since he was in a booster seat, and now he's 19 years old, and they took him away from me. And I said, you know, when I signed on with you guys, part of my agreement to come over with you was that kid stayed on my route.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they put him back on my route, and he hasn't been off it since.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, Chad said hello to everybody.
Who's that?
Chad Yoder said hello to everybody.
Oh, what up,
Hi,
Chad?
Chad.
Hey, what's up?
So, yeah, Dan, like, we all get hyped up about this in one way or another. And sometimes,
Oh, always.
you know, but at the same time, I guess it's tough love that comes off.
You know,
Exactly,
honestly,
that's the best kind.
Tough love.
honestly, I wish Dan was on here so he could speak. Like, what would you like to talk about, man? Honestly, like, let's hear what you want to say, man. Like, honestly, I mean, what's on your mind, bro? Like, talk to us. If you don't want to talk to us out here, talk to us. You know, talk to us behind this.
He said he is going to call Mark later.
Good.
If you're still watching, if you're still watching, Dan, what is one thing that you struggle with? You know, in your everyday life that's bringing you down. I know when I say bringing you down, it sounds kind of cliche, but in your daily life, what are some of the struggles that you're dealing with that are making it tough for you? And that's one of the best ways to put it, man. So that way we can open it up and try to help you out.
Yeah, because every day we go through something, you know, and it's, you know, every day you wake up, it's a new chapter, it's a new day, and there's always something that goes wrong, and it just frustrates you, and it slowly breaks you down so you can figure it out, and hopefully you figure it out. That way, you know, it's one less thing you have to worry about that mentally, you know, breaks you down.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's even tough to identify it too, because with depression and stuff like that, you know, the stuff like on the forefront of your mind, but it could be the stuff on the back front of your mind too that's weighing you down, and you don't even realize it. Those bills that are building up, you know, those little struggles, but you're focused on something else. But there's still those things in the back of your head that
is Dan still with us?
I don't know if he is or isn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I got two people watching right now, at least. Don't know if one of them's him. But Dan, like I said, if you're still watching, the chat's always open for me, man. Definitely hit me up, or you have Mark's number that you feel comfortable with talking. And like I said, if you're still watching, it's all tough love. That's just what it is. And we all need that in one way or another, brother. We all do.
Sometimes you just need a swift kick in the ass.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I would never put anyone's business out there. Their business is their business, you know,
unless they want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Right.
If Dan wants to talk about what's going on with him, I'm down to listen. I'm always down to listen, man. Like,
yeah. That's all right. So I'll tell you a story about my friend Crazy Jay. He was one of my customers bartending. He was 60 years old, but me and this man became best friends. He was an ex-pagan biker, and he decided he was going to get out of it. And I guess they have a ritual or whatever. They beat your ass till near death, and whatever, however that worked out for him. We never really got into it. But he was one of those guys that would always numb his pain, And you knew he was doing it, but he wasn't doing it on a daily. Like, he'd come in and he'd get a small triple of vodka and Coke. So as soon as he was done work, he'd go home. He was on a schedule of things because he kind of knew how to control it. All it took was his girlfriend to leave, and that was it for him. And through all this, me and that man talked about so much. And when I didn't find him, when he didn't come into the bar for about a week, that's when I went to go down to his place and check. And I knew something happened. And all I could do was just look under the garage door, and all I did was just see his feet. And I left it at I called the cops, didn't even go in, And it's just one of those things like mental struggle can affect you for so long to doing something horrible
Absolutely.
for yourself, even when there are people caring about you. And I figure I'll tell
Absolutely.
Jay's story because he was somebody that went his whole life struggling with not only the physical shit he went through from leaving that, and he was smart too. He inspected nuclear power plants for a living. That's what he did for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, dude
Jesus.
was smart as hell, but it was just so much on his plate that he couldn't control those thoughts. I know, Rob, that sometimes you had said that you hear voices.
Oh yeah.
This he would hear 7 or 8 different ones on a daily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's rough some days. It's rough. The medication helps, but
he's tried the medication, but it was one of those things that didn't even help him. You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
God rest his soul.
absolutely.
But that's one of those things. Don't ever let it get to that point. And I think that's part of the reason why I talk about this stuff besides myself,
Yeah.
because all three of us don't want to walk into a situation like that to one of our friends.
Never.
No,
Never.
hell
You
no.
know,
Never.
no.
And
So
and it's the worst when you know, like, especially when you just talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like my buddy Jack, for instance. I talked to Jack 2 days before he killed himself. 2 days. And he was talking about how happy he was and how excited he was, and how his life was good, that he wasn't doing drugs anymore, because Mark, Jack was,
I love Jack,
he
man. He was so.
he had a lot of problems, but
He
I
did.
love Jack. He was a great dude, man. He just,
Yeah, he was funny. He was always, yeah, he was.
it's
It
just,
was so sad for what happened. I just,
I would have never expected Jack to go out like that.
yeah,
Did I think Jack would have OD'd before he killed himself? Absolutely. But he cleaned himself up for his ex-wife, and then things didn't go the way he thought they were going to go, and he always loved his wife, dude. From even when they got a divorce, he still loved her. Like, it was weird, man. It was so weird. And then I've had so many different friends who have killed herself, and it's crazy. Like, one of my first trainees, he was doing so good. You remember Drew Simmons, Mark?
yep,
Yeah,
yeah. I remember
he
Drew.
was expected to wrestle with us up at Penn State one night,
Yeah,
and we got the call at Penn State right before I went out to wrestle.
yeah,
So and that's another thing that weighs on us. All our friends that do this type of stuff, or we lose them through violence, or ODing, or killing themselves. So, and that's another thing that weighs on our minds, because we're like, what if,
yeah,
what if, you know?
yeah,
yeah. And then we also question ourselves, like, why didn't we see the sign?
Absolutely,
Why didn't we? We
absolutely.
should. If I would have done this, if I would have solved that, they may be still here today.
Because
And
they're just like all of us. We're
yeah,
stronger than that. We're men. We're supposed to be stronger than that.
yeah,
man.
Our will is supposed to be great.
And that's one thing I struggle with my brother's passing. Um, I always do the question. What could I have done more? What could I like? Could I have been there for him
Nothing.
more and stuff like that? And with
Nothing.
his PTSD from the army, ultimately there was nothing I could do about that. Nothing.
No,
And
there isn't, and that's what you got to realize.
me and you had a conversation one time when it was just me and you on the podcast, Rob. It all comes back to that one word: acceptance.
Yep,
You just have to accept it, as hard as it is. That tough pill to swallow.
absolutely,
You just gotta accept it.
fucking right. And it is hard, because we could stop somebody today, but it doesn't mean they're not going to do it tomorrow or next week.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and we do got to accept it. But I'm gonna at least hopefully live my life trying to help people not do it.
Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
becomes a
I'm not
habit.
gonna I'm not gonna lie to any of you guys. I would like to be like Mel Gibson though. At one point, go, do you really want to jump? Do you? and jump off a building with somebody. I think that would be cool. But other than that,
As long as there's a big air pillow down the bottom.
yeah, big airbag. Yeah, just
If the
like
airbag's not there, then no.
no, you gotta have the airbag. It has to be.
All right, Ox, I got a question for you, man.
I got an
So
answer.
you just retired from the working prison system. All right, I have family in law enforcement as well. I have a cousin that is a sheriff down in Maryland. And over the last few years, I don't know, maybe I'd say the last 5 to 10 years, the system itself has been wearing him down. And you had said that the system itself is wearing you down.
Oh yeah.
What was making you wear down, if you don't mind me asking? Like
The corruption.
Since you're not going back to it,
It,
you know.
it's funny because when I started, things were totally different. I started at the federal prison in July of 2000. But things were a lot different. Society was a lot different. The way things happened was a lot different. Like there was a different respect in general, I think, in society as well as, in prison. Because prison is like wrestling. It's like its own extremely warped subculture, and I guess it's the same thing for a lot of law enforcement, but the difference with working in prison is you're stuck there for 8 hours a day. There's no getting rid of it. There's no going home for lunch. There's no like going for a ride somewhere and getting away. Like you're stuck there for 8 hours a day, at least.
Yeah.
A lot of times more. So like people don't really want the jobs anymore. People working in prison used to be a great job around here because you made good money, had good retirements, which is why I got in. But now, like, how can I say this? When I started, things were a little bit more like gladiator school. Like you have or one had correct it per way. Really like looked at it unless you know what I mean. 8 hours.
Okay.
But
I have no idea what the hell happened.
I think
He was cutting in and out there a little bit.
it's the street. The overtime, I think a lot of overtime because all of it's so short. And now you look at you're the bad guy, believe it or not. And I'm going to say,
Oh,
We lost him.
Yeah, you were cutting in and out, Ox.
I messaged Dan and I asked him to come back on
Okay.
because he even promoted that he was coming on. So I messaged him, told him to come back on.
Okay, good.
So
And it's one of those things too. It's tough talking about this to people sometimes because it's the level of help that they're ready to.
and he probably thought we were probably going to just go right into it and and
We always do the kind of like
sometimes-
the build up into it.
yeah.
we don't
and-
have, even that we don't have all the answers. You know what I mean? Like we don't
Yeah.
have the answers, and what our answers are might be different than somebody else's answers. Like it's hard to say, hey, listen, this is going to work for you. You should do this.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee that that's going to work for you. What works for Rob might not work for me. What works for Mark might not work for Mark. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
there is none. You're just
You go to the-
no,
you
you're
go to
not
the
by
gym.
yourself. You're not
You
alone.
go to the gym to get it out, Ox.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
you know what I mean? I
Ox.
go there. You know?
And there's some people that just write. Some people listen to music. Some people just it's getting it out. Like there's all different ways of doing it.
When I was wrestling, wrestling was just as good as the gym. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got in there with somebody that I was comfortable with, and I knew we were both trained and safe, and we could, like when I was in with Rob, when I was in with Mark, when I was in with Eddie House, or a bunch of other guys who I was with the Samoans. I knew they're all trained and everybody, and you could literally beat the shit out of one another, right? You could beat the shit out of one another safely. And then you're done. When you were done, it was almost like such a relief. And it wasn't like, oh, it's waiting for somebody to say, hey, good match. It was like, man, I just feel better.
Got your frustrations out.
You know what I mean? It's all out. You know what I mean?
You get those endorphins running. You know,
You can legally punch somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like everybody just like it don't even have to be wrestling. It could be something even like golf. Like it's something that you wouldn't think would be physical. You got to find that one thing that makes you that is your safe spot outside of your house, because a lot of times just sitting at home is the worst shit you can do.
Absolutely, it's the worst.
Amen.
It is the absolute worst you can do is sit at home.
You sit at home and you dwell and you stew, and that's the worst.
You think about every fucking bad thing possible.
When you don't stay busy, that's when your mind just goes into overdrive. You got to stay busy doing something, because if not, your mind just shifts gears, and all of a sudden it just starts to flow, and you're like, and you become overwhelmed because your brain doesn't want to shut off, and now you're starting to worry, be like, holy shit, you know, it's just one at another. Like, what the hell do I do now? You know.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym to train your body, or going in the ring to get all that out, all that, if you want to call it angst, get all that out in the ring. Just leave it there. You know, it's
my two handsome boys are showing up right now.
Yeah,
hold on. Lennox lost a tooth finally. I don't know if you can see the car, but one's getting ready to get out.
So,
God, you keep talking. I'm just looking at the toys.
Like training your body in the ring, training your body at the gym, you also got to exercise your mind, because if you sit around, your body's going to go to waste. Same with your mind. If you keep your mind occupied, you're exercising your mind and almost training it to start getting out of that mode. It may not seem like it. It's like trying to lift 100 pounds right away. Go ahead.
1 second. Ox, Mark.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Pete, say what up.
What up?
They say what up, Pete.
Tell Pete to start eating again.
Ox said start eating again. See how skinny he is, Ox.
Dude, he slimmed up, man.
A lot, dude. He goes to the gym every morning at 4 a.m.
Good for him.
Yeah. So go ahead. I just had to put a smile on their faces.
If we don't stay busy, you're right. If we don't stay busy, not just it's not good for sitting around doing nothing is not healthy for us, but at the same time, it's not healthy for our brain either, because it goes into an overdrive, and it just the more time you have to think, the worse it is. And that's, the worst thing is sitting around, because, it's one thing if you're productive at home and you're doing shit around the house, or, you got chores that you're trying to get done. That's one thing. But if you're sitting there on the couch trying to watch TV, and all of a sudden you don't feel like moving for a couple hours, and all of a sudden, you may be watching TV, but are you watching TV? Because a lot of people like go on the phone. And they're on the phone, and all of a sudden they start thinking about, what about this or what about that, and all of a sudden the TV is just background noise. You're on your phone because now something's going on, or now you're starting to think about this, you're starting to think about that. Like all of a sudden shit's coming at you, and now you don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and they call it doom scrolling. Because when you have nothing else to do, what do? You just doom scroll.
Yeah,
and I talked to my kid earlier, yesterday, as a matter, or a couple days ago. He's been trying to cut down on his phone time, and he said every time I look at my phone, I just feel more depressed because I see all the stuff going on in the news. Because sometimes I just want to see the things I want to see, but then there's so much horrible shit behind it, and you get wrapped up into it.
Social media has become a toxic wasteland for a lot of people, and it's sad. Because I get it. Well, I want my opinion. I have a voice now. I can say what I want on social media. You can, but
Mhm.
there's also consequences when you do that shit too.
Yes. Yes.
And it's so toxic. I can't go through one day going on any type of social media and there's somebody, something bad's happening somewhere somehow, and you just sit there and you shake your head going, can't we just get one day to be like, hey, no, nothing really bad going on today. Nothing's really happened. Nobody has to worry about family. Nobody has to worry about this or that or whatever. But and then there's people that always are fighting on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and there's always people, bitching about this or bitching about that, whether it's religion, political, whatever. And it's just like, seriously, like, I know you have your own opinion, but damn it, mentally it's not good for anybody.
No.
Yeah, and they're always
Like,
fighting about politics.
I think
People that don't even care about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
one of the things that's been lost is debate. Nobody can debate without feelings
I'll be in
behind
a
it.
couple minutes.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things. Like, we're not always going to see eye to eye on everything, and you're going to like who you like. Just accept it for what it is.
That's why I won't talk about politics on social media, religion, any of that stuff. I won't do it
Never.
because I can't. Because it doesn't matter. You're wrong no matter what. There is no right answer for any type of religion or politics or anything. You're wrong. Whether you're on one side or the other, your answer or how you view is wrong.
Yep.
And that's everybody out there. So it's a no-win. So you know what? Guess what?
Yeah.
I just eliminated going, I don't talk about it, and I refuse to.
I agree that 100%.
I see so many people get into political issues, and then all of a sudden, people are, oh my God, I can't believe you do this. I can't believe this. I just like, you know what? There are some people I started unfollowing because every day they posting stuff that one way or the other, and I'm like, there's more things to life than just fucking politics here, So just enjoy it. Enjoy life. That's like enjoy the time that you have, because one day it's gone, and it's just
100%.
it's sad to see people go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm sitting here talking to Dan on Facebook, man. It just sad, man. Makes me sad, dude. Just sorry.
No, that's okay, man.
I've had those conversations with him.
I feel his struggles, man. It's fuck. He's a young dude going through some hard times, man. And it just fucking sucks.
How old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, anybody's younger than me. So, to me, he's a young dude. So,
okay.
I think Dan's in his mid-30s, maybe.
He's got
somewhere in there, mid upper 30s. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think maybe he's as old as Jamal. Maybe 37, maybe. I think he's not an older guy. Yeah,
I'm not
for sure.
I think we've had this conversation with Dan, but I don't remember. Bad memory. So
yeah,
might have told me.
I wonder why we have.
But
yeah, well, that's a good reason why you guys have bad memory. All them bumps to the mat.
Well, I think somebody said one time, and I don't know if it was Stevie Richards. So I remember I don't know if it was I saw it online or if I was there. I thought he said, I think it was Stevie one time said, taking a bump or I don't know if it's just one bump or multiple. It's like going through a car crash at 35 miles an hour. It's what it feels like on your body. I forget exactly.
Absolutely.
If that was a bump or it might have been a bump or two, and you think about it, at a car wreck at 35, you're like, well, that's not fast, but that jolts your body. That jolts your head, everything, and, hell, even a car wreck at 20 miles an hour inside is terrible, but it's 35. I think that's what I think Stevie Richards said that. I think it was a bump was like a car wreck at 35 miles an hour. So you imagine you having multiple car wrecks in a week, on a weekend, how many?
Yeah.
Oh, I had 15 car wrecks. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like throwing the inside of a watermelon against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to water down.
Yeah.
Right.
And you wonder, why the mind is the way it is.
Yeah.
We can all, and depending if you got to hit your head a lot, what they call punch drunk. You start slurring your words and whatnot, all because your head's been hit so many times that you can't even talk right anymore. That's when it becomes dangerous.
All right. So here's a question: with all these bumps you guys have taken throughout the years, how do you handle the changes your body has gone through mentally?
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to accept what we had to, when we first got into it, we had to accept that. And I tell any new student, how you feel today is the best you're going to feel for the rest of your life, because it's going to be hell from here on. And, when you're young, hell, and this is, I could tell stories. I remember doing shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming home Sunday night, Monday morning. And there's times I used to drive garbage truck 3 or 4 days a week. I'd start at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd get home from a show at 2 o'clock, go to the guy's place because he worked for a private guy, picked up the truck, went to Philly, came back by 9, 10 o'clock, and then I went to bed. I woke up at 6, 7 o'clock, 8, went to bed, and I was good the rest of the week. And I could go. I try that now, you'd be burying me somewhere, So you got to know your limitations, You got to know, as we got older, we got smarter. Hey, let's take this crazy bump here. When we're young, going, sure, why not? Let's go through the table. Let's go through 2 tables. Let's go when it's flaming and packs and whatnot all. That's great. When you get to be older and in your 30s and your mid-30s, you're going, no. I bump in the middle of the ring. That's it. No outside bumps, none of that crap, because if not, what'll happen is your time will end a lot faster than you want it to.
So
we all have a bump card. And eventually when that bump card says, hey, you're done, you're done. So as we get older, we get smarter going, well, I don't want to hurt like this all the time. When we're younger, we get, it's easy. We get, we can rejuvenate faster because we're young. When you get older, you don't rejuvenate as fast. You hurt something, a sprained ankle, when you're younger, maybe a couple days and you're good to go. Sprained ankle when you're in your 30s, mid-30s, hell, could take a week and a half or 2 weeks. It's a difference, So you just learn to be smarter about things. That's all. You're growing up in the business going, hey, I do got to go to work on Monday, so I can't fuck this up, so I'm not taking any risks. And just on that stuff, I remember up in Lewistown, Rob, I think you were there. I think, Ox, you might have been there too. We did a show. Dylan was running a show, and he had Stevie Richards on, and he had Gangrel. It was a 6-man, and Gangrel pumped outside. I remember Gangrel coming back, and Stevie's going, what the hell are you doing out there? And Gangrel just kind of looked at him. He pulled him aside. He goes, you took that bump outside. You didn't need not to take that bump outside. What did you got hurt? This is what you do. This is your career. And he he was yelling at him, but he was telling him, you don't need to do that. It was a 6-man tag. There was enough going on around in there. You would have bumped
and
wrong
people
and
missed
hurt.
it.
You would have lost. You wouldn't be able to do the next show next week, next month. Then what? You're out of money. What are you going to do then?
I'm sure that was harder on his brain than hitting the ring.
Yeah. But Gangrel was like, I didn't really think anything other. But Stevie, being the Mr. Security, and I understand because all the stuff that he's been through, he was like, brother, don't do that no more. You don't need that in your career. You don't need to do that. And he really was like, look, I'm just looking out for you, brother. Like, one wrong bump on the outside, it was a concrete floor. You whack your head, you crack a rib, you hurt a shoulder. He goes, you're out for a couple months because you're not getting any younger either.
Hey, can we reschedule? Can we reschedule another time to do Dan? Because I talked him into coming back on, but it's probably a little too late now.
No. He's on right now. He says, I love Dave.
Good. Okay, great.
I got to sign off. I got to go to work now. I'm a businessman. I don't know what to tell you guys.
All right, businessman. Peace out, my brother.
All right,
Love you,
I'll talk
man.
to you soon. All right,
All
bye.
right,
See ya.
Love you, brother.
Safe.
Bye.
I know we went a little longer than we normally do today. We hit that hour mark. But Dan,
Okay.
I'm glad you came back, man. Like I said, I don't know what's going on.
Can we let's reschedule another one that has it live with us?
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
definitely.
And it's probably going to be a little more rough because, like me, Dan's very fucking outspoken.
I'm calling that.
So it's gonna be a good one because he's an outspoken motherfucker. I mean, it's good though. That's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be tell shit the way it's supposed to be, man. Like,
Yes, exactly.
you know,
So, Dan,
I know we worry about people's feelings.
Yeah. Dan, I'm going to send you a friend request on Facebook, man. And at any point, man, if you just want to reach out, I know I'm a fucking stranger, but feel free. Feel free.
Absolutely. And you know what, Dan? You might feel more comfortable with Mark because who knows? You know, maybe if you talk to me or you talk to the Godfather here, you know, you might think we try to judge you, but I'd never judge you, man. You knew that from the day I met your scrawny little ass. So, you know,
and like we talked
Dan,
about,
I'm here for you, Dan. You. If you need my number, I'll give it to you. But I thought you had it before, so I will send it to
like
you.
we talked about, a lot of people talk about the brotherhood, about family, and the whole 9 yards, but nobody ever goes through with it because at the end of the day, everybody's worried about themselves, not about
Absolutely.
anybody else. And you know, the world would be a better place if we all would just, hey, you know, would care for one another in a way like, hey, check up. I've done that already. I've checked up on people. I've seen they put a status out. I'd message them, hey, man, everything all right? You know, everything good? You know, and it's just, we're human. Why can't we all just have some consideration for our fellow person? Man, male, female, it doesn't matter. I mean, why can't we do that?
Like the great Rodney King. Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. You know,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
There's no reason we can't. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just sad because, you know,
everyone's a judge.
Yeah.
There's only one judge.
That's right. That guy up there.
That's right.
Amen to that. So tonight on YouTube, the Josh Yoder Blogspot podcast, I'll be on there talking about more mental health at 11 o'clock tonight. So that, like I said, that airs on YouTube, 11 p.m., the Josh Yoder Blogspot podcast.
Could you send me the link?
Yeah, send me the link too, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get you guys the link to it. Chats was just saying hi and hopes everybody has a good week. Dan said he did train Joey Janela, which is awesome as well.
Yeah, awesome. That's his claim to fame. That's right, Dan. You damn right you did.
There you go. There you go, Dan.
I'm gonna send you a friend request. Like I said, if you want to bullshit with me, go right ahead, man.
All right, fellas.
I have leather shoulders. You ain't gonna offend me in any way whatsoever.
That's right. And listen, you can ask my wife. Whatever we talk about, Dan, is between me and you. I don't tell nobody's business. All that business goes to the grave.
Yeah, it does. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it.
That's right.
And these nice gentlemen, before we sign off here, might be working at a family reunion type setup a year in advance. So
absolutely,
I don't know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. You're especially any young wrestlers that watch this, up and comer trainees, might be a good show for you guys to go to and pick some brains. Like I always say, stay thirsty for life. Until next time, cheers.
Peace out. Love you guys.
Love you guys too.
Love you.
Take care.